It's been a winding road. I mean, yeah, turning 31 next month. So it's been a windy road. I wanted to get into it probably in my early 20s. But, what life experiences, what I've had, I think that definitely, all the things that I've gone through have led me up to a point where I feel like I can connect to a lot more people.
Big it up, big it up. Yep.
Welcome to Let's Talk Real with Mel. We are here with Cydney Actie of Compass, and we are in Philadelphia, but she is a realtor licensed in Pennsylvania and Maryland, focuses on Baltimore and Philadelphia market.
Correct.
So tell us, welcome.
Well, right. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm Cydney. I graduated from Pennsylvania State University, so I'm a Nittany Lion. We are Penn State. So I went to Penn State as the only one from my high school. Everyone thought I was crazy driving, going out 3.5 hours, and the year after the market crash in 2008. So there wasn't a lot of funds for us college students. So I said, no, I'm going there. And I met a lot of people, and most of them still live in the Philadelphia area. So I kind of always had a connection. My aunt has been living here for like 20 years. So I started off living in the Mount Airy, and now she's in North Wales. So I've always had a connection. Summers here as a teen, so I love the city.
All right. Well, welcome. Well, thanks. But you're born and raised in
Baltimore County. Correct.
Okay. And then and oftentimes when we move to college, wherever we college, usually we have roots there.
Correct.
But I want to just kind of jump right into it. We were discussing females in real estate, particularly Black women in real estate, Black female real estate buyers.
Yeah.
And so just what's been your experience with serving women of color, clients of color and assisting them with their real estate transactions?
I will say most of my clients, with the exception of one, have been mostly Black women and mostly single women. So single women, whether a race or whatever, is still making up about 30% of the market share. Most women are saying, I want a property. Sometimes they're not waiting for that significant other to come through. In Maryland, there is a tax break for being a first-time home buyer. You do not get that if your husband has sold or bought a house. You don't get that. So you first-time home buyer, and I think that's a little persnickety. That's a little persnickety, Maryland.
Right.
But I would encourage if you're ready to buy, go ahead. So it's nice to assist people. It's nice to have that conversation about home ownership. Most of these are single women, and most of them do have children. So they want to build something, they just don't know where to start, and that's where I come in.
Okay. And that's been you found that to be your niche. Single women is kind of your.
But it's hard when not even 1 in 2 Black people own a home that can, and that is disheartening to me. That's 43% of Black people own a home. Less than 8% bought a home last year. Tell me the percentage of white people that bought a home last year. 73%. So for me, this is NAR. This is all NAR statistics. Anyone can look this up. That troubles me because what Wells Fargo and all these other companies, big tech, is doing, they're buying up these properties in low-income neighborhoods and renting them out. They're making us a cycle of forever renters. I don't like it. We should be the landlords. So I don't like it. So I try to push that out. And, there's been some efforts about Black Home Ownership Week in February. There's a couple other realtors in the DMV area that are starting that, and across the nation have been trying to get that momentum. So every February, I think it's our job to kind of have some type of event.
Every month.
Yeah, right. Every month.
Yeah, we don't have to wait till February, right?
I don't understand. Just that's the week. So, but for me, I would love to be a catalyst for anybody who wants to buy a house, but specifically our community, because a lot of people are going 40, 50, 60 years, have never owned a home.
That's true. We've seen some clients in their 50s buying their first home.
Yes.
In their 50s, in their 60s buying their first home. So it's though it's exciting, it is. Yeah. It does say something to kind of the posturing. And I think we were talking about even federally subsidized loans, for women. So kind of shifting from race to gender. Mm-hmm. There was a point in time where a single female buyer could not buy a home without a husband's signature,
correct,
or a doctor's note that said that the woman could not have children, because the lenders wanted to know, well, what if you get pregnant? how are you going to pay the mortgage? Which is crazy.
No.
But that was a thing at some point in time, and that was FHA.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a bit, but I think, so just kind of having the mindset of like, I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that, we're getting these nuggets of information, how to relay, this to buyers, because of course you just pay attention to headlines. You're going to say, oh, the market's going to crash, which has been, of course, trying to crash for the last 10 years. But
yeah, market.
So you're just seeing these headlines, oh, interest rates. I mean, if you've never bought a home, what does interest rates mean to you? But you're willing to pay 26% or interest on a credit card. So I think just having that, just this math, like, are you willing to do this, even though it's a lesser scale of tens of thousands of dollars, but just think about how much wealth you could be building and could, of course, refinance if the market does go back to 4
or the rates come.
Yeah. So I just feel as though when people look at interest rates, it's pretty much on our jobs to kind of explain what that means in terms of payment and in terms of what you could potentially be earning off of this one property.
Right, which is significant over consumable debt, like a credit card.
Correct.
So we'll do that to go out and buy the clothes or the stuff or have the experiences, but the investment of real estate will complain about a 6%.
Correct. And I think when I try to do this with every person that says, oh, the real estate market is crazy. I said, well, tell me more about that. Why is it crazy? And then it's cricket.
Yeah, help me understand.
So I said, you know what, I would love to explain this more. And I'll try to try to at least get them to understand that homeownership is attainable for everyone. Now, are you going to be living in the most expensive neighborhoods and the biggest square footage? If that's not what you can afford, I'm never going to push someone past their limits because it doesn't make sense. I want them to be successful throughout their time there. So I would love to set up people for success. That's my first goal. I always look 5 years ahead as well. So I'm like, is this a good investment for my client? Is this something that if it doesn't have resale value, is it going to be something that if they're not staying here, can they resell this easily? So I try to look at that as well.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about you, Cydney, the person. How did you even get into real estate? I mean, did you, as a little girl, did you say I always wanted to
winding road. So I had a family realtor. She owns her own brokerage, and she's pretty much been our realtor forever. I've always just thought that what she does and how she does it has been like, just she's filled with grace and poise. So I've always looked up to her, but not necessarily like I wanted to be her. But I was like, oh, what she does, she has such a good time. I'm like, so, but as I got older and things didn't work out, I wanted to go to law school. Didn't get into law school. I applied to 13 schools, and didn't get into any of them. So that's great. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? So I did an internship with an attorney downtown Baltimore, and I said, okay, I'll just do paralegal for a while. Then I found out Stevenson had a program, so I went to Stevenson University. However, it wind up, then I started being forensics somehow, some other program. So I was like, all right, get my master's degree. Can't go wrong with a master's degree. So then I'm like, okay. So I have a master's degree in forensic studies, general concentrate. So like basically just like investigative like practices. That's just like very general.
Well done.
So I got my master's degree. Then I started working at a title company at some point. So I saw a lot of realtors come in, just being a part of that world. This re-sparked my interest. But that was 2016. I'm like, okay. Still want to get into it. My dad said, absolutely not. So I'm still living at home. He's like, no, you need income. So I said, okay, I won't do it. Pandemic hits, and I'm like, absolutely not. This is my time. So I actually took, a lot of people, however you feel about the stimulus checks, however you feel about politics, not what I'm talking about, but I took that money and signed up. CE Shop had the, class at a discount. I think it was like only $200. I was like, great. So I took that money and started my real estate business. So my stimulus checks went to summer camp for my child and real estate for me. So we had, an opportunity to kind of grow both of us. So I took that down. I told my dad, once I passed my class, I need $1,000. I think I told him I needed $2,000. I said, can you give me $2,000? Yeah. And he was like, okay, is this really what you want to do? You've been talking about this for years. All right.
And you've got a little bit, in addition to the family realtor, a little bit of real estate in the immediate family.
Correct. So like my dad's a real estate appraiser. But, he has a really funny relationships with realtors. So you agents, that's all it says. So at first it was them agents, and now it's you agents. So I'm kind of like, okay. Yeah. So, but my dad's an appraiser. So I kind of feel like I have a symbiotic kind of understanding about finding the right comps and, really understanding that realm of the business, because I've always heard him say, look at this house. What do you think it's for? And you would ask me before I got into it, how much do you think this house is going to sell for? Like, where is it? It's Vernon Park. Is it on the water?
Right.
Like just asking those questions, just like, because I've heard him say that. So like, oh, okay, I might lowball it. He'll say, but as I got into the business, I would be spot on, more spot on. So
Pretty cool.
it kind of went from like not having any knowledge to like trying to, it's not difficult if you do the work.
It's like kind of like homeschooling.
Yeah, it was kind of like homeschooling for real estate. That's so funny. I was pleased that you said that. Yeah. Just kind of, because he would just ask. He would just kind of come back and say, this is what happened. This is the things that I'm running into. And not, just talking about his work. Because he knew I would listen. So.
Yeah, that's cool. And I mean, and if you weren't interested, you wouldn't have listened. And if
Correct.
you weren't interested, you wouldn't have listened. You wouldn't be in this business.
Correct.
So
obviously, lots of steps.
Yeah, lots of steps.
It's been a winding road. I mean, yeah. Turning 31 next month. So it's been a windy road. I wanted to get into it probably in my early 20s. But, what life experiences would I've had. I think that definitely, all the things that I've gone through have led me up to a point where I feel like I can connect to a lot more people.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. So we're growing up in Maryland County, out in Baltimore County. Yeah. We're, kind of navigating. We decided to launch this career, I guess, 3-ish years ago.
Right.
How has real estate treated you so far?
It took me 6 months to get a sale. So my first sale was nowhere near where I was from. It was in Gaithersburg, but I had a friend that lived out there previously. But this lady, she just contacted me via my website and said, I'm trying to sell my house. First time selling. She's from New Jersey. So this is her first time. She moved down here for work. And I said, great, I would love to help you. So I actually had my team lead at the time come with me because I was nervous. But watching him, kind of learning from how he starts and finish, everyone does it differently. Once we got to the comps, 0 dead, I was like rock star.
I got to do it.
No.
I'll take it over. I'll take it over.
This is how we're going to sell it. If we have to price it right. Even during the pandemic, it was overpriced. There's going to be a resistance. So pricing right is really crucial to selling the home as quickly and with the best offer possible. So we sold that home all cash, no appraisal, no inspection, within 5 days.
Wow.
Yeah, at the open house.
Okay.
He's like, I don't understand why you're having this open house. It's all cash offer. I said, man, I promised my seller. Come on, chill.
Right.
So 6 months of the business, one transaction.
Okay.
Second transaction was my own, which I did.
Okay.
Yeah, and then myriad of other transactions. It's been a whirlwind trying to get people in. Rental market last year was crazy because people were getting priced out or they were just exhausted from the mere competition. So even getting a rental last year, I had some of the clients had to pay like double security deposit and first month's rent.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to get a.
And you're seeing how much that cost. You're like, this could have been a down payment, but I can't. I never push anyone past what they're willing to do. So you want to go rent, I'm gonna help you. But it was a lot of running around my first year, running around with rental clients, and that taught me a lot.
Awesome, pretty good.
Yeah,
really good. And so, and how do you feel that and you haven't done this alone? Obviously, you had but you also invest in yourself through coaching. You have a coach, a real estate coach, a team lead who's actually coaching you up and helping you. So how has that been versus before when you were kind of doing it on your own?
Yeah, so I was a solo agent for 3 months, and I knew I needed help. So my broker at the time really pushed mentors and had a mentor that it just wasn't clicking, so I had to fire her. And I got another mentor. He had a team, very top team on in the brokerage. So I just took it as, okay, I just really need a mentor. I really need to know where to start because apparently what I'm doing isn't working. So I got with him, and he actually did Tom Ferry coaching. I want to say within 2-3 months of me joining the team. So we actually had coaching with my previous team as well. I did Summit last year in Dallas, Texas, and I had a ball. It was like, this event that we're at on steroids. And it was wild, just having all of these agents around, all around the nation, and you're just like, woo. And some, and then sometimes, Ontario, that's, that counts.
And Australia.
Anywhere. So like, it was just crazy, just having all these people, around, in the same boat, always growth. That was my word for this year, growth. So I'm always willing to grow. There's nothing I can't do unless, it's just I'm sick or I feel like I'm dying. So I just try to push for growth and always, like Ryan Serhant says, always, So for me, there's nothing. I want to net $1 million. So that's what I'm going to do. I need to sell $80 million in value to do that. So I need to net $1 million in the next 5 years.
Okay.
1 year, net $1 million.
We're going to do that.
We're going to do that because if I keep saying it, I have to do it.
All right. Yeah, so going to that. So saying it and doing it, and then, obviously there's some work.
There's a plan. There's a
Right,
5-year plan.
What would you say to a person that's, maybe in a struggling situation, or maybe thinking about quitting? And I'm sure, people will look and say, oh, you had a dad. That's why you're successful, because your dad was in real estate and he had a family friend, and that's why.
I mean, anyone could look up my numbers. They're not high at all. If we're talking numbers, I'm not a top producer. I'm not going to lie and say I am. However, what I'm going to say is there's no other agent's going to work harder for your business than me, period. So for me, I have the attitude of I work well with others. I'm a certified negotiating expert. I took the certification. I looked at opportunities to make myself a better agent. So why
investing in yourself?
Correct. So for me, it's like, is it a struggle? Yes. Every week, it's like, wow, you're comparing yourselves to the Montez McRae's. You're comparing yourselves to, Bob Lucido or any of these other top producers. But for me, you got to look at every journey is different. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do everything in my power to net the million, period.
Right.
Like there wasn't any, but it's a struggle. Like, but it's more so accountability of your teammates. It's reassurance from people that are saying, wow, I have my like I mentioned, my mentor, realtor, broker, who is like, oh my God, I don't do half the stuff you do, because she doesn't have to, because she has, she's comfortable. Once you get to a space, I'm never going to be comfortable. So I think that's what the difference between someone, who's been in the business for 30 years. They're like, I just want this. That's fine. But I'm always going to want more. I'm always going to want to help more people. I'm always going to want to go a step further, because I feel as though I owe it to my daughter to give her everything in this world, period.
And is she your why? Is she?
Oh, she's the big why. Yeah, and she is very expensive. I think 2021, this kid went so many places, because I felt like a year was taken from her. So we all went out. She's been to Mexico. She's been to Paris. She's been to London. This kid's been to New York several times, Disney several times. Like, I just want to make sure she understands that there's a big world out there. Experience it. I studied abroad in Belgium for 4 months. It changed my life.
That's awesome.
Changed my life. Yeah.
Pretty cool. So to the small business person out there who's maybe trying to make a way. They're trying to either get their business off the ground, or maybe they're in business fully, but maybe they're not seeing the results that they're looking for, or the results that they had hoped, and they put so much time and effort in, and they're maybe thinking about stopping.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
I've been there, because it is hard when you have your own family members saying, I mean, why aren't you selling anything? I said, because you haven't given me referrals. Like, let's go there. But the minute you stop, you quit, there isn't a possibility of growth. So I look at it like, if I stop today, how much money and time have I, invested in this? Do you want to have all of that work just wasted because it could have been that next day, that one phone call that could have changed your life?
I like that.
That one referral, or that one person says, I heard that you are a really good mechanic. I would love for you to work on my car. Actually, I have a, entire office that we're all having, car problems. That could have been the one break you could have made, I don't know. I don't know how it goes.
No, but the same thing, if you don't quit, you can't lose.
Exactly. So for me, there's no way that I can't achieve my goals. It might take me longer than someone else, but I will. So I have to keep that in mind, because, spending, the fees, NAR fees, and, DVR fees, and, PCAR fees, and all of those things.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, no, like, I need my return. I'm not quitting until I get it.
That's right.
Because it's thousands of dollars that realtors are paying. I mean, even, $127 and a quarter for MLS and all of these other things. Like, you need to get your return on all the work that you've done. And you should be very proud of yourself that you've even started, because some people never start.
That's right. Yeah, they don't. So even getting into the game.
Just even get into the game, just like pat yourself on the back. Just tell yourself every day, I need to keep going. I need to keep going until I hit my goals. Because look at Oprah. She got fired at 25. And now she's a multimillionaire. And I think she might be a billionaire.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so if she would have stopped because someone told her she's not good enough.
Someone told she could.
Would she have gotten her TV show in Chicago? Started writing WBAL in Baltimore. So
I didn't realize that.
She did. She got fired from that job. So, she wouldn't have got her talk show if she would have quit. She believed in herself enough. She's, I think Oprah said that she used to have, mice as pets. That's the real. Like, look at Maya Angelou, went through sexual assault and prostitution, but made a way to go and produce some of the best works poetically and literally. So
That's cool.
I just feel like look at some of these people that have started. I mean, most tech giants are college dropouts. Any unique other contents, we would have looked down upon them. But because they invented something, extraordinary, we give them praise. But anybody else a college dropout, oh God, you quit. So yeah, no, they quit to open up a door
and to do something,
Correct.
do something bigger and change others.
There's so many people like didn't make their stop. What was it? John Hamm didn't get his first role until like 35. Right. He was an acting coach, didn't get his first role until he's 35. I think Harrison Ford didn't get his first role until a little after that as well. He was a carpenter. Like just going off of some of these stories I've heard. Yeah. There's countless examples out here, and I know I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not going to be easy. For some people, it's just timing. They come into a business and they flourish from get. That is great. I love those people.
Right. But for most
people, it's work. It is a grind. It is a total grind.
But anything, I mean, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
That's what my grandma says all the time. So.
If it was easy, everyone would do it. And you can't get the big rewards without putting in the work.
Right. I mean, just the odds of being a successful realtor are very slim. I mean, 87% of us quit within our third year. So I'm just kind of sticking it out because tens of thousands of agents are going to quit.
Well, you're over that hump. So.
Yeah.
We're over that hump. So,
we just got to stick it in there and, don't let anyone crush your dreams. I've had a bit of that. People think it's crazy that I do 2 markets that are 2 hours away. But I don't really take that as that's your problem, not mine. Yeah. That you don't want to expand your marketplace.
And I want to open up that for a little bit if you want to expand. Sure. Would you say that the people that will crush your dreams the most, would they be strangers or would they be friends or family?
Oh, they're friends and family for sure, because they don't want to see you get hurt, so they think they're trying to thwart you,
trying to protect you.
Yeah, they're trying to thwart you from falling on your face. But I think what's crucial is, find that one person that does believe in you beside yourself, and that's all you need. Like, if it's just that one teammate or that one boss that says, I really see that they're actually doing everything you're going above and beyond anyone I've ever seen. That one comment can change the trajectory of your life.
Awesome.
That one comment.
Yeah, pretty cool. So I've got a quote of the day. Let's see.
Let's see this quote of the day.
See the quote of the day. Owning a home is a keystone of wealth, both financial affluence and emotional security. Susie Arnold.
Yeah.
Denied, the deny. Like,
yeah.
No. Yeah. So let me ask, if we were in the Baltimore market, Maryland market, or the Philadelphia market, and we wanted to buy or sell a house with you, how would we reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram at Cydney the Realtor. You can reach me just by literally Googling Cydney, Cydney Actie, because I am the only one you're going to find. Actie is not a name that you're going to see every day.
A-C-T-I-E?
A-C-T-I-E actually means action in Dutch, so it's Actie. So if you just put in Actie, I'm pretty sure I'll come up.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
You were in Belgium for 4 months.
Yeah, I learned that there. I saw my name in stores and I said, what is this? And my teacher, kept saying Actie. And I'm like, no, it's Actie. He's like, me being a stupid American. No, it is Actie because your name means action in Netherlands. So yeah.
Good stuff.
So yeah. Yeah.
You said you're gonna continue to go on and do awesome things, and I will be seeing you in the Maryland market and maybe in the Philadelphia market at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you'll see me up here for sure.
All right, awesome. Appreciate it.